like to know how fast I'm going, and I like to keep that at a maximum.
And it's going to be somewhere that you don't expect, and then you're going to have to yank the car around and try and get it to where you're supposed to be.
The morning of a fast autocross event, and drivers have spent the last several days preparing their cars and themselves for race day, and the time has finally come.
Make sure nothing's loose, check your tire pressure, make sure if you have tires that you're racing on that event, you put them on. Sometimes fill it up with gas depending on which location it's at. Biggest thing is making sure there's nothing loose, because if something is loose, then you're going to have a bad time at Autocross.
Autocross is not just for racing drivers or people with sports cars. People from all walks of life come to enjoy the sport of driving.
I started Autocross about this time last year. Started racing in my friend Elliot's 240. He got me first introduced into it, and I thought, well, this is what I want to do. He sold me this Integra. I built it up, and I entered it into my first Autocross about May.
All vehicles and drivers are accepted and encouraged to race.
It's the only place that you can really bring out your car to the maximum of its abilities. It's not worth it to mess around and try and go fast on the street.
The course is challenging, but given the proper technique and instruction, anyone can do well.
You really should walk at least once beforehand. Usually do a course walk of your own and then a course walk with an instructor so they can show you the kind of route that you're probably going to be taking, because it's very important to know not only which cones to go around, but at what point you should be like coming around the back of the cone, or how fast you should be taking a turn. Or it's pretty complicated, and a lot of it is by feel. So if you're a beginner, you're not going to have that feel. It's always better to have an instructor help you out.
Drivers prepare themselves for their runs in many different ways.
I like to just get focused. I review the course while I'm sitting in the grid. I have a little map of the course I keep in the cockpit.
If it's the very first lap, it's not very stressful because you're wanting to take it easy and feel out the course a little bit. Some people just go balls to the wall straight out of the gate. Yeah, you just start watching the other car and find the point at which they're going to set you to go, and so you can let the guy know, and then he'll wave the flag and you can go as soon as you can.
Drivers must pay close attention on course so they have the opportunity to make a clean run.
The biggest thing is to just look ahead. You don't want to be looking at the cone or the element that's closest to you, because if you do that, then you're going to get past it, and then you're going to get to the next one. You're going to look very quickly, and it's going to be somewhere that you don't expect, and then you're going to have to yank the car around and try and get it to where you're supposed to be.
Runs can take anywhere between 30 and 40 seconds. A clean run may look something like this. Competition may be fierce, but at the end of the day, it's all about having fun.
So I came last overall in my class. I'm not very down about that because it was a super slippery course, and my car doesn't really shine in the most technical courses. It more shines if there's like higher speed areas. But it was a lot of fun. That's the biggest thing, is you got to enjoy yourself, whether you perform well or not. And I got to ride along in some cool cars, so it wasn't all bad.
I was overall third in my class, so and the Integra held up, didn't explode, so that's always a plus. It's always good when you, after a weekend of autocross, you don't break anything. I learned that my car understeers a lot. It needs to stiffen up in the rear end. The suspension is it's not very built for autocross.
If autocross sounds interesting to you, no matter your car or skill level, all are welcome.
Autocross is definitely the best the best thing for beginners. No matter what car you have, no matter what level of skill driving you have, you can go to autocross. Like, if you have all-season tires and you have racing tires, it doesn't matter. Like, people just go out there to enjoy themselves and to learn and to really just be able to push their car as hard as you can without having to worry about losing your license or hurting somebody.